host, Dan. This is my son, Nick. How's everybody doing today? Nick, how are you?
I'm good. The Darlington race was pretty good. Sad winner in my opinion, but I thought overall it was a good race.
Yes, it was a good experience to be there in person. Enjoyed being at the track. Enjoyed the pre-race. Seeing all those drivers was a really cool thing. Then the race itself, I felt like there could have been more passing. It could have been maybe a little more exciting with some more passing. What do you think?
Yeah, there always could have been more passing. There were a couple good spin outs. Chastain dueling with Larson, they both wrecked each other. And in the end, I was really hoping that Harvick would secure the win. He had the lead going into overtime. It didn't work out for him. Overall, it was good though.
Well, it looked for a long time like Truex was going to dominate the whole race. Then there at the end of stage 2, he tried to move. It didn't work. His car had fallen off just a little bit, I guess. And then we didn't hear that much from Truex. Of course, he wrecked out later in the race. Like you said, Harvick was strong. He just kept inching up. And then by the end, he was there contending for the win. Harvick got his second place, which is his best finish of the season. Byron as the winner. After the race, Nick, I told you that he was maybe the 7th best car in the field. But sometimes the 7th best car in the field wins because they survived the wrecks.
Yeah, he probably was 7th best, and it stinks that that's how it worked out because I, for one, did not want to see a Byron win. I was very let down that I sat there for 3.5 hours just to watch a Hendrick guy win.
Well, and after Truex gave up the lead, we thought for a little while we might see Chastain's first win of the season. I think when it comes down to it, his driving style was not going to allow him to win this race when it comes to the end where everybody's going for it. I think at Darlington, you can't do what he did and expect to stay in the lead.
Yeah, maybe he wouldn't have lasted in the overtime. I'm sure he would have taken a couple guys out with him. He might not have won. Still, he's looking good in the point standing, so I'm not worried.
Our picks for this race didn't really pan out very much. You had Logano to win. He was running pretty well, never all the way up front. He finished 18th. I had Tyler Reddick. He was running most of the race up a little closer to the front, but never got to the front. He ends up 22nd. Our consensus top 3 was Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin finished 12th, never ran all the way up front. The best pick of our whole lot was your sleeper. Nick, you had Brad, and he finished 4th. My sleeper pick of Austin Dillon got in that wreck, and he was out of the race.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to bounce back with the picks this week and going forward.
It was just a rough week. And I mean, some of the guys that we had were doing well, like especially like I had Logano, he was running up there and they'll just get caught up in something and something screws them up. They finish in the teens or 20s. Not much you can really do about that.
So we're going to complete our mid-season awards. And I think between last week's episode and now, we have actually received one award back, and Harrison Burton gave back his Mr. Consistency award because he was inconsistent last week at Darlington, and he finished 6th. So
yeah,
the whole reason we gave him that award, he kind of put that to rest. You think Harrison Burton, he ran pretty well. I think he was always in the top half of the field. You think this is something he can build on?
I think it is because usually he does run moderately well. And this week it just all worked out for him with everyone getting caught up, but he was able to stay out of it.
Mm-hmm.
All-Star Open, Harrison Burton, he could be a contender for that.
Yeah, maybe that's a sleeper pick for this week. We'll see. So I want to go ahead and award Driver of the Year or Driver of the Mid-Year, so to speak. We are 13 races in. That is halfway through the regular season. We have 13 races left, 13 points races left until the playoffs begin. And the Driver of the Year award that I am giving is to William Byron.
I just think that's just a bad take. I don't like why. Tell me why.
Okay, I will. I am prepared to tell you why. So William Byron, of course, got the win at Darlington. This gives him 3 wins out of 13 races. No one else has 3 wins on the season. William Byron has 4 finishes in the top 3 positions. He has 6 top 5s, 7 top 10s, 8 top 15s. Couple that with he does have 2 finishes of 30 or worse than 30th on the season. But if you just look at the results, he's got the best results. He's not the points leader, but he has 3 wins, and he is always running up there. I'm not saying that you have to like him as a driver, but who can you say deserves the award more?
Well, I mean, I don't like him as a driver, but I don't see how he can be the top. Did Byron deserve to win at Darlington? No. I think Kyle Busch was gonna win before his pit crew screwed him up, and he lost a bunch of places. Nothing he could do in those 2 laps to catch back up. I think Kyle Busch had the best car of the remaining guys. I think Byron just got lucky. He repeatedly does get lucky. And as the commentators, they call it the long run versus the short run. He will never last compared to guys like Hamlin or Bell, those Toyotas that are more of a long run car than him. He just gets lucky with caution placement, overtimes, all that stuff. And it just works out in his favor in the end. So I don't think he's the best driver of this year.
Well, and I will give you that luck is a factor. He was, I've already said it, he was maybe the 7th best car in that race. But there is a combination of luck and other things like pit strategy, things like your pit crew, things like just knowing how to ride through the crashes. Of course, there's luck involved with that too. I think if you just put all those factors together, and I think the stats bear it out, that he deserves the award for the first half of the regular season.
So do you think that Byron has a chance to be a champion this year?
Yes, he has a chance to be a champion. Is he my pick to be the champion? No. Is he, if we had time and we did the power rankings, is he my number 1 in power rankings? No, he's not even that. But if you're saying who deserves the award, best driver of the first half, I think it's him.
All right. Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion, so you can have your Byron pick.
Yes. Okay. Who would you give it to?
I mean, there's a whole number of guys I could give it to. Kyle Busch has been great. He's been solid. It's been a whole new team, whole new setup. I see Kyle Busch as having much more odds making it far in the playoffs than Byron. I think Byron's just gotten lucky, and he's having his little early season run. We'll see how he does the rest of the season. I just don't see it working out for him in the playoffs.
Well, and look, the award is for the mid-season. It's for what has happened. It's not indicating what is going to happen. So, I'm with you on some of those things. I'm with you that Kyle Busch has had a great first half. Ross Chastain, while he hasn't won, he's had a great first half. It's been maybe the craziest first half. Christopher Bell has a win. He was my number 1 guy in power rankings for the whole season up until a week or so ago. There's a lot of guys that are up there that have been good. But if you just look at what has happened, take all the factors, luck included, I feel like Byron has been the best. I like the guy. I don't pull for him as a driver because I'm not a big Hendrick Motorsports guy. And of course, you've made it well known that you're not either. We gave the award in our last episode of the best driver without a win. We gave that to Ross Chastain. He almost, he was in position to get a win at Darlington, didn't get it. So let's have a slightly different category here, and let's give the award for the driver who the rest of this regular season most needs a win. Who would you give that to?
Well, definitely Elliott.
Yeah, I agree.
And here's the thing. I'm losing faith week after week. He was able to get top 3, but I mean, time is slowly running out, and it's gonna get more he's going to get more anxious the closer it gets because there's no way he's going to make it in with his points right now.
Yes, it's
So he
with
needs
every passing race, it's going to get more interesting. You know, we kind of thought it was possible that he would just come right back in and get a win. He got third at Darlington, but you know, I don't think his car wasn't better than Byron at Darlington, so he wasn't even the seventh best car, but he was able to survive and finish third. Of course, there's plenty of tracks upcoming that he has been good at, but we just haven't seen him as a top tier guy since he's come back. So we'll see. Is he still getting back up to speed, or is there something to worry about with him?
I mean, he might still just be getting back to speed. Like guys like Chastain, it'd be nice for him to get a win, but right now he's got so many points. Most likely he's going to be able to get into the playoffs on points. Chase Elliott needs this, and I mean, he can always just come out of nowhere and win one, but still he has to win it. There's no way he can't. He could have consistent top twos like weeks in a row, and still, I don't know if he'd make it just from how far back he is.
Yeah, we're at the halfway point of the regular season, and we've had 9 different winners. We can expect that some of those 9 are going to win again. Right now, if I had to guess, I don't think we're going to have 16 different winners this year. So your points leader is definitely in good standing. And, you know, if you're running up high in the points, you're in good standing for the playoffs as of now, until some other guys start winning races.
Exactly. I don't think there's going to be 16 winners by the end of this season. So there'll be a couple on points for sure. Just Elliott needs it, especially.
What do you think about what you've seen of North Wilkesboro so far? We're recording this on Saturday afternoon, so the truck race, the heat races will be happening tonight. Of course, the All-Star race open and the heat and the All-Star final tomorrow.
I've seen a couple more minor league car stuff this week, like Tuesday, Wednesday, some big wrecks. Should be an exciting week for the truck race. We got the All-Star Open and then the All-Star race. I'm really curious as who's going to win the All-Star Open, though. I've been looking at the options. There's a couple guys that I think could pull it off. It's kind of more wider open with all these other guys in the All-Star race.
Yeah, so who are the couple you've got your eye on?
I mean, I definitely have Ty Gibbs in there. Just he's been a good driver, and then taking all these top guys out, it could be time for him to just pull ahead and shine. Also, guys like Allmendinger, veteran, just come out and win it right there. Not bad for him. Michael McDowell, always another veteran. You got Justin Haley. He's more of a sleeper guy, but it's really wide open with all these different dudes. I think Chandler Smith's in it. Noah Gragson. Who's going to step up and win that race?
And you've got Ty Gibbs. Pit crew won the competition, so that's a step for them as well. So this is not a points race. This is not going to count for anything other than there's a nice purse involved. I think we can say without a doubt, though, that the guys want to win this race.
Yeah.
Who are you going to pick? I think it's pretty wide open, don't you?
It is very wide open. I'm liking Larson for a top 5. I don't know about a win. I like Harvick just to have a root for the underdog, last year veteran kind of pick.
Yeah.
It's still wide open though. It really is. I don't know who's going to do well. Maybe guys like Reddick who have cooled off a little, maybe they'll come out and win this. Still.
So do you think with this being an old track, of course, it's a track that they haven't raced on in a good long while. Do you think that there's any advantage for a veteran versus a newer guy here?
There probably is. Guys like Harvick and Truex that I'm sure they remember racing here a couple times before, and they've had everyone's had a practice, but they've run many more laps than some of these newer guys. So I'm sure there's always a factor. Again, it still is like a little more than a half mile. There's other tracks like it. So it's not a great advantage, I wouldn't say.
I'm going to make my pick a guy who has not won a points race this season, has not won a race in a year, but he hasn't won a points race in longer than that, and it's Ryan Blaney. Let's just say Ryan Blaney is going to go for a 2-race streak in
that would be
All-Star.
funny. That would be fun. It'd be even funnier if he wins this and then somehow he doesn't make the playoffs again.
Oh boy,
So
yeah,
he's got 2 wins sort of in a season, but
that
still.
would be just the thing for Blaney, you know.
I mean, yeah, watch him do really well all of a sudden on this race and win it. So you're picking Blaney?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to continue the trend of picking guys that haven't won this year, not last year, this year.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to pick Harvick.
Okay.
I've talked myself into it. I think not just because I'm a fan and all that stuff. The veteran thing. He's raced this before. I'm picking Harvick. It's his last hurrah. Let's win the $1 million. I think it's $1 million. And
yeah, and you know, this could be the start of something for him. If you think back to last season, he wasn't that great in the first half, and he came on strong in the second half of the regular season. Had a couple of wins then.
Yeah.
So then for our consensus top 3 in the All-Star race, we probably ought to pick somebody who's won one this year. What do you think?
Yeah, I agreed. Pick someone that's won. I'd throw out Larson. I'd throw out Hamlin. Byron, if you really want. Yeah, if you really want, I guess I could settle for a Byron pick.
Okay, so let's just think about it this way. Between Hamlin and Byron and Larson, who could you see doing the best by the end of the All-Star race?
I mean, with Larson, like we said last week, it's all or nothing.
Yeah. You know,
last week was nothing, so this week it could be all.
Yeah, last week was nothing, but he did salvage a 20th out of that,
Yeah.
which didn't put him in the category exactly of a nothing. But he was definitely in the all category until he was not. He's had some pretty rotten results with some pretty good cars over the weeks. I feel like maybe we should just put him as our top 3.
I mean, we usually do. I think it's fair to put him as top 3. He's had rotten results, but it's not like he really needs those good results. He's already got his wins. He's already in the playoffs. I'll put him at top 3. For my sleeper pick, though, I put some thought over it. I'm going to pick Buescher. I think Buescher, he's a sleeper, but he's got a chance.
And he is good on these short tracks.
He is good. Sure. So that's the other factor. I think he might be able to pull this one out. It'd be crazy. I'd be happy for him.
Yeah. So should I go for his teammate as the other sleeper? I don't know.
You can't go wrong with that. It just depends on what you're feeling.
I've got a sleeper for you.
All right.
Daniel Suarez. He's had some pretty bad results recently.
I mean, I was talking about him last week, how I'm a little bit worried. This could be one that he comes out and wins. Suarez on this track.
So that's my sleeper pick. Can't say I've got a high level of confidence on it, but I like it for this week.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's a nice weekend. These results don't affect the standings. They have some fun. Hopefully, I mean, in my eyes, a good winner. We have slightly different views of who a good winner is, but I just hope it's a good race.
And while the results don't matter, we could see some things that are a springboard to the second half of the regular season. And I'll enjoy watching this with you, Nick. And thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.